wealth, fame, power. For over 25 years, Eiichiro Oda has been quietly hiding some of the biggest secrets of One Piece in the earliest arcs of the story. Secrets we didn't understand at the time. Moments that seemed random. Abilities that didn't make sense. But now that we're deep into the final saga, some of those strange details are starting to look very different. And one of the strangest abilities in the entire series might actually be the first clue Oda ever gave us about Imu. Welcome back, Nakama, to Romance Dawn. Today we're talking about a character that almost nobody discusses anymore. A quiet girl from Baroque Works. A painter. A character who appeared for only a short time in the Little Garden arc, Miss Goldenweek. Because the deeper you look at Goldenweek's power, the harder it becomes to explain. Her ability is called Color Trap. By painting symbols and colors onto a person's body, Goldenweek can manipulate their emotions and behavior. Yellow makes someone burst into laughter. Blue overwhelms them with sadness. Green makes them calm and passive. Red drives them into aggression. And once the symbol is applied, the victim cannot resist the effect unless the mark is removed. Now at first, this just seems like a strange gimmick. One Piece has always had bizarre abilities. But there's something about Goldenweek's power that immediately stands out. It does not fit anywhere in the One Piece power system. It isn't a devil fruit. It isn't Haki. It isn't hypnosis. Oda himself confirmed that Goldenweek's ability is not a devil fruit power. Which means this character has been using a completely different type of ability from the rest of the world. And for years, fans didn't think much about it. Goldenweek was just another weird character from an early arc. But now that we understand more about the hidden structure of the world government, Goldenweek's ability suddenly becomes extremely important. Because the newest chapters have revealed something terrifying about the warriors who serve directly under the Celestial Dragons. The Gods' Knights. These are not just powerful fighters. They are individuals who have entered into contracts with Aimu. Those contracts are marked on their bodies as tattoos, symbols that bind them directly to the ruler of the world. These markings grant them incredible abilities. One of the most shocking of these abilities is Regeneration. Members of the Gods' Knights can recover from injuries that would normally kill someone. Their bodies heal, their wounds disappear. But the contract appears to do more than just grant power. It also changes them. Their personalities shift, their emotions dull, their loyalty becomes absolute. Almost like the contract is rewriting part of their identity. And when you think about that idea, it starts to sound very familiar. Because Miss Goldenweek's ability works on the exact same principle. Symbols that override human emotion. Symbols that alter behavior. Symbols that rewrite the will of a person. Goldenweek places a mark on someone, and their personality changes instantly. Their emotions flip. Their loyalty can even reverse. Which brings us to one of her most interesting techniques, color betrayal. When someone is marked with color betrayal, they suddenly turn against their allies. Friends become enemies. Their loyalty flips completely. And when you compare that idea to what we are learning about the Gods' Knights contracts, the similarities are impossible to ignore. Those tattoos bind their loyalty to Aimu. Their personalities change. Their emotions shift. It is almost like a permanent version of Goldenweek's emotional manipulation. But this connection becomes even more fascinating when we talk about one of the most important characters in the story. Shanks. The newest chapters revealed that Shanks was once a member of the Gods' Knights, before he became one of the four emperors, before he inspired Luffy, before he became the man who protects the balance of the seas. Shanks was part of the very organization that serves the throne of the world. And like the other members of that group, Shanks carried the mark of that contract, the tattoo on his arm. Which means Shanks once stood inside the system that binds warriors to Imu's authority. But unlike the others, Shanks left. He walked away from the contract. He chose freedom over obedience. And that detail makes the connection to Goldenweek even more interesting. Because Goldenweek's powers revolve around the idea that symbols can control the human heart. And the world government appears to have built an entire system around that same principle. Symbols that mark slaves. Symbols that mark authority. Symbols that bind warriors to the throne. And if the Gods' Knights tattoos are contracts that reshape a person's identity, then Imu's true power may not just be political control. It may be the power to dominate the will of others through symbols. Which means the strange little painter from the Little Garden arc may have shown us something incredibly important, a glimpse of the same concept that now defines the God's Knights. Symbols that manipulate emotion. Symbols that control loyalty. Symbols that rewrite the human will. If that idea traces back to the Void Century, then Goldenweek's ability may not have been random at all. It may have been the first hint Oda ever gave us about how the rulers of the world maintain their power. Because in the world of One Piece, symbols are never just decorations.